Here we go again. Welcome to Defeat the Monster Within. I'm a guy named Fuzz. Today we're going to talk about the program. Now, I've been putting this one off a little bit because I've been really wanting to figure this out and get it dialed in. It's not perfect. There will probably be a follow-up video, but we're going to jump in here and review this extremely important information. This is life-changing stuff, okay? So, the program basically boils down to the Daily Dozen and the Forbidden Five. If we can stay on track with this, we're going to win the game, okay? I put the Forbidden Five first because I feel like it is more important. If we can get a hold of the things that we need to stop doing, that's going to make a bigger difference than doing all the things we need to be doing. They're both very important, but I think stopping the bad shit is going to create more results in your life, okay? So we're going to go over the Forbidden Five first. The first one is no negative self-talk. Now keep in mind, this has been growing and evolving for years now. It started off as like, no snooze, no booze, no weed, no scrolling, no jerking. And it's evolved because I realized that that's too simple of an explanation. We need to go deeper for you to really understand why they need to be forbidden. So no negative self-talk. This comes back to one of the very first videos I made of having strong self-talk is extremely important, right? If the monster breaks us down and she sabotages our self-talk, it's pretty much going to fuck up everything else across the board all the way down the line. So we need to make sure that that's a priority in our lives to not allow ourselves to start talking negative about ourselves. Number two, no mind-altering substances or mind-altering activities, right? So I guess I shouldn't say activities, because if you're doing it without the aid of drugs, then that's the way to do it. That's how you alter your mind. That's how God wants us to do it. So I put no booze, no weed, no drugs, right? So it's when we're relying on these substances to feel better, to feel good, or to give us the ability to socialize or be comfortable, then that's distracting away from our natural ability to do that shit. And obviously that's going to fuck us up, right? If we can't do it on our own, if we can't do it naturally, and we need some sort of substance to aid our abilities, then what happens when that substance is unavailable? Then we lose that ability. That's shitty. That sucks. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we can handle our business without the aid of substances and drugs, okay? Number three, no lusting or masturbation, right? So this has evolved from no jerking off to no lusting, because it's not just about jerking off. It's not just about watching porn. It's about the whole mindset change from looking at a woman and wanting to fuck her and taking that away. Like, obviously we could see a hot chick and decide I would be willing to have sex with her because she's hot, right? That's just a natural instinct of a man. But when we start running around thinking with our dick, it totally throws us off course. So we could have a plan to kick some ass in life, like a real plan to do well, and then a woman could come along, and if instead of sticking to your plan and vetting her properly and deciding on your terms how you're going to allow her into your life, if you just lust for her and decide, oh, well, I need to fuck this girl, so I'm going to do whatever I can. Let me jump in. Ooh, let me show off. Let me peacock around. Try to get this girl to have sex with me, right? That in and of itself is the wrong way to go about things. So it's not just about jerking off or watching porn. It's about lusting as a whole, okay? Number four, no mindless activity. So I got like scrolling or binge watching. The idea here is that we don't want to waste our time. We want to be focused. We want to be on our path. We want to be on course, and we want to stay on course. And if we take too much rest time, sitting around wasting our day, scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or binge watching our favorite show on Netflix, it's just going to set us back. So the things that we want are just going to stay farther away and stay out of reach as the longer we spend time doing mindless activities that are getting us nowhere. Number 5, no self-destruction. So This is where I've got smoking cigarettes, hitting the snooze button, things like that. So smoking cigarettes, yes, that's a drug. It could sort of go into number 2, but cigarettes don't really alter your way of thinking. They do, but it happens so slow that you don't really notice. So that's a story for another day. But it's not like it's really getting you high or getting you fucked up, you know? So you're just destroying yourself for no good reason. Same with hitting the snooze button. I know hitting the snooze button doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you hit the snooze button, you're basically saying to your subconscious mind that these 10 minutes of sleep is more important than getting up and achieving my goals and reaching my dreams in life and being the person that I want to be and handling my business. And it's a small shift, and it seems insignificant, but it's very significant. You keep hitting the snooze button every day. It's the same thing as the mindless activity of wasting your fucking time. You're just wasting away and not capitalizing on the minutes in the day that you have. Everybody's got the same amount of time. We all got 24 hours. It's what you do with that time that's going to make a difference. So if you waste it snoozing, that's wasted time. What more to say about it, okay? So that's the forbidden 5. These are the things we need to eliminate, and if we can eliminate these 5 things, our lives will greatly improve. Next, let's move on here to the Daily Dozen. So number 1 is be grateful. This is so underrated. If you follow any kind of mainstream like business guru or, you know, social guru like Tony Robbins or Grant Cardone or these type of guys, right? The big dogs. They all, at some point, they refer to that you need to like be grateful. You need to have gratitude in your life. They never emphasize it enough. That's why I have it as number 1 on the Daily Dozen. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to emphasize it enough. If there's anything you could take from this, any one thing, it would be to be grateful. Being in a state of gratitude and perpetuating it to where you're constantly in that state of gratitude will radically change your life. And I know it doesn't sound like it. I know it sounds stupid and like, how is being grateful going to radically change everything in my life? It's not going to happen today. It probably won't happen in a week. Maybe in a week. Like in a month, it's very likely your life will be radically different than it is now, as long as you stay in a state of gratitude and actively perpetuate that, right? So there's a lot of ways we could do this. You can have a gratitude journal. That's what I like to do. You can do a gratitude rock. So you can just find a rock on the ground, right? And you put it in your pocket, and now you have an odd item in your pocket. That's the point, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be a rock. It needs to be an unusual item that you're not used to having. So every time you feel it in your pocket, you notice it and you say, oh, okay, that's my little reminder to be grateful, to think about something I'm grateful for, and to not just think about something you're grateful for, but to actually get yourself into a state of gratitude. That's the tricky part. It's very, very easy to think about the shit that you should be grateful for, that you don't really feel gratitude for, and when you do that, you start to feel regret, which is the exact opposite of what we want. So you got to really focus on actually being grateful. One trick I like to do is to think about someone I love and imagine that I get the phone call that they have just died, and make that a very real thought and feel it, and then to come back to reality and realize that that's not happening, they're not dead. Then I can call them up and, you know, invite them over. Then I can really feel that gratitude that they're still alive, that they're around in my life, right? So that's just the one simple trick, but you can explore on your own different things you can do to make sure you're staying in a state of gratitude, okay? Now the next one is self-care. So this is kind of a big category, right? It's going to be like the foods you eat, the supplements you take, right? So basically, in my mind, the way we do this every day as part of the Daily Dozen is to make sure we're eating wholesome foods and taking proper supplements and drinking proper water, right? Which drinking water is on here as number 9, but self-care goes into like making sure that you're healthy and that you're taken care of. Your body is going to be taken care of, so to speak. Number 3 is self-improve. So this is more of a mental aspect. This is going to be like reading, writing, studying. So I just have read, write, and grow. So that's the goal with the self-improve category, is to grow and to move forward and make progress. So it can be studying a program you're working on. It could be watching this. This could count as self-improving, right? Depending on what kind of journey you're on and where you're going. It could be reading a self-improvement book. It could be writing some of your own book. Okay, so there's a lot of different things going on here, but we want to make sure that we are staying on the upward spiral of making progress. Number 4, I have workout. Now I know you might be thinking, the daily dozen, what do you mean I have to work out every single day? I don't mean you have to do like a fucking real workout and go pump some iron. Like, this isn't 75 hard. There's no requirement for how long you have to work out or what you have to do. The only requirement in my mind for number 4 here is to sweat. Do something that makes you sweat. And that, if you do that every day, you're going to be doing well. You're going to feel good. It's going to make your body feel fucking great. But also on the other side of that blade, if you push it too hard, you're going to burn yourself out. So I'm not saying to just go as hard as you can and work out as hard as you can every single day. You should still take your rest days. But even on a rest day, you should be doing some sort of physical activity that makes you sweat. You shouldn't just be laying around binge watching fucking TV shows all day, right? So hopefully you're getting what I'm saying here. Okay? Now number 5, this one where I need to dial in a little more explanation. I might even jump around to the other side of the board here, because the check-in. This is something that's going to be a very important part of the program, right? So this is something that I'm just recently figuring out needs to be a priority. And you need to have somebody that you can check in with every day, someone that knows the path that you're on, that understands your journey and what you're trying to do, that you can check in with and just sort of let them know your progress, where you're at, what's going on, how you're feeling, what you're wanting to do. I'm going to jump over here to the other side of the board, because this is why I have this here, is you need 3 to 5 other men to check in with who know what you're doing. So if you have if you have one best friend that you can really call every day and they're really going to answer, and you can really check in with one person, that'll work. I think that's very unlikely, especially for most people in the modern world, right? I sure as fuck don't have one person I can call every day. I've tried it, and they don't answer half the time. So I realized I need 3 to 5 other men that understand what's going on. They understand Defeat the Monster and the journey that I'm on, the things that I'm trying to do, so that I could check in with, so that every day I have someone to check in with. It doesn't have to be the same person every day, but every day I have to have someone that I can check in with. Okay? So that's extremely important, and it's something that will, if you don't do it, it will just start to crush you over time, and you won't really know what's going on or why you're feeling buried, but it will. It'll pummel you. So number 6, I put clean up. So this basically, in essence, boils down to just maintaining your space, right? Keeping your kingdom on par. So you want to make sure that your shit isn't a mess everywhere. If your house is a mess and your car is a mess and your yard is a mess and all this, like that's a representation of you and who you are. And so if all that shit is a mess in your life, then your fucking life is a mess. That's what it boils down to. And that's the same thing like with not checking in. It's like, it doesn't seem like a huge deal. Yeah, we can pretty much do all the same stuff even though it's messy, but it takes away mental energy. It soaks up a small percentage of your mental juice. Okay? And number 7, we got track data. So this is going to be like tracking your food, your calorie intake, tracking your workouts, tracking your weight. Okay, so for me, this is like tracking my weight, weigh in every morning, track calories, track the water intake. So this isn't like tracking my progress on my self-improvement journey or like my business journey. This isn't about tracking the data of my progress of life. This is like tracking the data of your progress of your body. So that, yeah, we're going to want to track your weight, track your workouts, track your food intake, this kind of thing. Number 8, I have meditate. This is another one where you might be thinking, you're fucking weird, Fuzz. Why do I need to meditate every day? I think meditating is sort of the wrong word in a way. Originally, when I wrote this, I had it as reflect/meditate, because it's not just... The idea of meditation for a lot of people is skewed, right? They have this weird idea, you gotta, sit in a sweat lodge and put a weird robe on and hum and shit and sing and or whatever people do, and cross your legs and sit there for hours and hours trying to close your mind or open your mind or whatever people think about it, right? That's all bullshit. Meditating's pretty easy. I'll probably make another video down the road about it, but it's about reflecting and having a vision for what you want, and having an understanding of who you are and where you've been and how that's going to lead you to where you want to go, and reflecting on that and where you are along that journey. And that's huge. And if you don't, it kind of falls into the whole mindless activity thing, because if you're not doing this, if you're not reflecting on where you're at and where you want to go and the progress you're making, then what the fuck are you doing? What are you thinking about? What in the world could you possibly be thinking about if you're not thinking about what you want in your life? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. Leave me a comment and let me know what the fuck you're thinking about if you're not on your path, on your journey. Because if I'm not thinking about the things I want to do and where I want to go in my life, I'm probably thinking about getting stoned or getting drunk or getting laid, right? That's probably what I'm focused on if I'm not focused on my main journey. And so obviously I wouldn't be doing myself a benefit if I didn't reflect and make sure to stay on path and know where I'm at. Number 9 is drink water. 100 ounces. 100 ounces a day minimum. It seems like a lot, but this is a big one. If you really focus on drinking 100 ounces a day or a gallon a day, depending on what you want to do, it steals away your ability to drink other shit that is not good for you. So if you have to drink 100 ounces of water a day, you're probably not going to drink a bunch of soda. You're probably not going to drink a bunch of beer, right? You're going to drink your water, and that's going to be all you're really capable of drinking. So that will be a huge health benefit for you if you can eliminate those shitty drinks that are destroying your body, take the poisonous drinks away, and replace it with the lifeblood of the human being. That's what we need to do. That's what God has intended for us. Number 10 is journal. This is another one that's it's kind of been a new breakthrough, because it kind of falls along with track data, but this is going to be tracking the data of your journey, your progress in life towards your business, towards your big juicy goals. Okay? So I got over here on the other side, we'll jump over here, because when we talk about journaling, we're talking about keeping a log, right? You don't have to have a physical journal. You can keep it in your phone or something, or your computer, but you need to have it somewhere where you can review it, because that's what really matters. Because you know what you wrote today in your journal or your log, but you might not remember what you wrote 10 days ago. But when you go and reflect on what you wrote 10 days ago and say, okay, 10 days ago I had this, there's one thing I could improve was this, and then I did that again today and I fucked it up again. So now I know I need to focus on this thing and make sure I improve it. And it will start to become a more pronounced thought in your mind about what you need to do and the steps that you need to take personally. So you need to track your data. And I got here, you track what happened today. You track one thing you could improve and one thing you did well. Now, obviously, this is personal, so you could adjust this. But the point is that you're tracking what happened, things that went not the way you wanted them to, and things that did go the way you wanted them to. So you have data to collect, so you know in the future what things you want to work on and what things that you might not necessarily need to focus on. Okay? So, come back down here to number 11 is review. So this is going to be similar to reflecting and meditating, but it's not in a meditative, reflective state, right? I'm talking about physical, looking at our data, our shit written down on paper, our goals and our progress, and reviewing, okay, if I want to make 50 videos in the next 90 days, how many videos do I need to make per week? And where am I at? How am I on course with that? Did I make the videos I needed to make this week? Okay, maybe not. Maybe I've spent too much time wasting my time, and I only made one video this week. So now next week I need to make 3 instead of 2. Or, you know, the basic essence of that. It's going to be different for everybody, but it falls in with your goals. It's a review of your big, juicy goals, your big, juicy, exciting goals that you need. And you review that every single day so that you can keep that vision in your mind, that big, juicy, exciting vision in your mind, and you'll know where you're at and the steps you need to be taking currently at the current moment. And when you wake up in the morning, you'll know exactly what you need to do. Which brings me to number 12, which is plan ahead. Pre-planning, something I talked about in a previous video. We need to make a plan for what's going to happen before it happens. So for as far as the daily dozen goes, with planning ahead, this is making your to-do list for tomorrow. But you make it today. You make your to-do list today for tomorrow. So you want to know exactly what you have to get done tomorrow before tomorrow starts. Before you go to bed tonight, you should have a good plan and a list of the things you need to do for tomorrow. And then it makes tomorrow easy. Then we can wake up without snoozing. We don't need to snooze because we know exactly what we need to do is the moment we wake up. And we can wake up and start doing it and start acting immediately without getting lost in this cloud of thought and wondering what we should do and, oh, maybe this, maybe that, oh, I don't know. And then when unexpected things do come up, we are more able to fit them into our life because we have a solid plan of what we are going to do. And so it makes it easier to make the adjustments on the fly as it happens. Okay? So we got a few more things here to go over. Other requirements here is state check-ins. Now, this might sound like you need to go get yourself a probation officer or something. That's not what I mean. The point of the state check-in is not a state like the state you live in. It's a state of being, right? So it's the way you feel. Do you feel happy? Do you feel sad? What state of being are you in? Hopefully you're in a state of gratitude. That's the goal. So state check-ins, this should be done at least 3 times a day. It could be done every hour, depending on how in control of your state you tend to be. If you happen to be a very negative person in a negative mindset and negative state of being all the time, then you should probably do it every hour, or maybe every half hour, and have set an alarm on your phone, something to ring at you so you can check in and decide, okay, how am I feeling right now? Am I feeling like shit? Am I feeling good? What can I do in this moment to elevate my state, to raise that state so that over time, your default setting, your default state of being will just be elevated, will be in the state of gratitude, and it will just be regular and normal and just the way you carry yourself and live your life. And the point of that is that growth and improvement needs to be the dominant thought, right? It needs to be like the forefront of everything we do and everything we think about needs to be through the lens of growth and improvement, of how is this improving me? How is this helping me grow? How is this helping me reach the places I want to go in my life? How is this helping me get to the top of the mountain? And then we've already been over the rest of this, really, 3 to 5 other men to check in with, so you have people to talk to. You got people in your group. You need a brotherhood. You need to have someone who gets where you're going and can help you to get through the mental fucking fog so you can make it down the road. And then I'll say it again, you need some big, juicy, exciting fucking goals. We need to have overarching goals. You need to have big dreams and big goals that juice you up and get you excited. And that needs to be like that's the fucking overarching thing that makes all of this fall into place. Because none of this will work if you don't have big, juicy, exciting goals and a big thing that you're reaching for. Because then you'll wonder what the fuck you're doing and why you need to do it, and what the point is, and it will just be a matter of time before you fall off the path. Like I said in the beginning, this is a work in progress. There's going to be follow-up videos. There's going to be more to this. I think this is a good start, a good base level to start at. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave me a comment, ask me a good question, I'll answer it. I'll do my best to answer all my comments. But most importantly, take this video and give it to somebody that you know could use it to improve their lives.